videos, and you can even, maybe even that day is when people call the revolution. When you go, oh, my name is blah, 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 I call it Children's Revolution. And to have that posted out. You can do it as a group, hey, we're blah, blah class, and we call it Children's Revolution. And they post that. And this will inspire people. This will show other kids that they can do it too. Right? This is how you guys are super huge leaders. Why life brought me to you guys. Life didn't keep me in Calgary. Life didn't take me to Fort McMurray. It brought me to Compton. I didn't force this. This just happened. I left, I didn't even know I was coming up here until last Saturday. And I left with 40 bucks in my pocket. And I had this other job I might have done, and life just went, no, you gotta go. And I went, and it just unfolded. Life wants me to give you these tools. It knows that you guys are good people to have them. There's a good seed, a good soil. But this is also, these videos, they'll help also bring other people to be inspired by these acts. So Pink and Purple Day is going to be, who is it? Oh yeah, Coco's Day. And I'll explain Coco in a little bit down the line. But this is, what do they call it? Pink and Purple Day, Coco's Day.
Can you tell me? It's my pencil.
Wait.
Is that? No.
No, sure.
Oh no, she's the protector. I'll get into that as we go, because we'll actually explore each day as we go on. I'm going to give you a brief overview. So Pink and Purple Day is there. The reason it's pink and purple is to move. Sometimes they use purple and pink as anti-bullying. Is that right? This is not so much anti-bullying as a movement to pro-support. It's a call to go, hey, we live in a bully system, and we're done with that. Let's move to a system of support. Why it's Pink and Purple Day too is to honor the women in our lives, because they're the ones who really did know that knowledge. And part of the bully system suppresses it. But it's our courage of kids and our women who actually have a lot of love that keeps us connected. And we need to recognize that. We went from this weird bully system, which was that patriarchal system, and it had its place in time, but we're moving away. So Pink and Purple is toward a pro-support, is to honoring the women and sisters and aunts and nieces in our lives. Pink and Purple is also, it's an action. When you see, these 4 days are just these days that, will be out there on your own whenever you're doing actions, when you have some people wearing the same color. It connects them and brings them together. It's an unspoken way. It's a really neat tactic of a different kind of revolution. Then there's April 15th. Oh yeah, what else is April 1st? April Fools, right? And it's like half a day long. Well, the real April Fools is that's not the real Fool's Day. That's the April Fools. The real Fool's Day is April 15th. And it's all day long. And on this day, I think it's a Wednesday, we're going to do something super foolish. This is going to be ridiculously foolish. At 11:11. Hey, you're ahead of the game. Because at 11:11 is the notion to sing Imagine by John Lennon. And then if the kids want to, they get to walk out of school and go play. I'm also going to encourage the teachers and principals to also walk out with them. Because part of this revolution is also to call for a revolution in education, about how we go about education. I talked about this bully system. Be patient with your parents and your friends and your teachers, because they're under huge pressures. They're also being bullied. And that's why they might bully you. That's why they might do that. So this is a call to move away from that in different ways in which we can do that. So Fool's Day is nice and foolish. 11:11 we get to walk out. And if there's people who are at work and it's safe for them to do so, we encourage them to walk out too. To come and join and play and connect with their family. And then even more foolish is if it's safe to do so, sometime in the evening, sit upon a roof Sit up on the roof and call Lolo. This is Lolo's day.
YOLO.
Now, I'm going to explain to you this Coco, Lolo, Lili, and Toto. They're kind of personifications of the directions. But I do have a friend in Florida. Her nickname is Lolo. And right now she is in a dark place. She's sad and alone.
Let's go pull her out.
And on this day we're calling out Lolo. She is to be that kind of example where even if she knows it or not, there might be a whole country calling her name, sending her love. So that's the same for you. If you're ever alone, know that, hey, there's lots of people out there, your family, your friends who love you. Not only that, there's ancestors who came before who love you. There's generations to come after who love you. In truth, the whole universe loves you. So if you're feeling alone, if you listen quietly enough, you can hear it calling your name. It says we call out Lolo. Lolo, too, is also on April 15th. The reason is also to kind of call out to the kids in America, the kids across the fence. Hey, come out and play. Come out and join us on this weird little journey. Next day, April 20th.
420.
This is Superheroes and Solidarity Day.
Superhuman Day, right here. Superheroes. 420.
And it does have to do with 420 as well. No revolution is free without controversy. And this is probably the most controversial thing of it. But it is to look at how we look at drugs. And look at how we look at these plants, because it's a part of how we look at ourselves. We'll get into a good talk about that. On that day, there'll be a bunch of information how that works. And then we'll describe that. I think even just mentioning is enough for now. And then the last day is May the 4th be with you.
Oh, May 10th, my birthday.
I'm going to explain that one in a bigger way. Actually, you'll like April 20th. It's about obviously calling into effect that hey, these things shouldn't be illegal. These, instead, Sundance teaches us our bodies are the only thing we own. And no one has any right to tell you what you put in your body. And it's also about bringing the trust that, hey, I trust you with whatever you're doing in your life, and I trust the people around you. And if we treat people with that trust, they will make better decisions. And there's not all evil, especially in that marijuana. May 4th be with you. It's a flash mob dance. And this happens at 4:44 Alberta time. Because we're going to ask people to join us for the Kitimavik hour. Does anyone know what Kitimavik means? Any guesses?
No.
Kitimavik is Inuit and it means meeting place. Okay. So at 4:44, whatever their time is in the world, we're going to join together and dance. We're just going to end up dancing together. Part of it being Kids Revolution is also to dress up in onesies or fantasy gear. And the dance that we're going to do is based on those animal movements, but it's not about the dance. It's about the process we get to do learning the dance. And getting together in circles and learning each other's names. Yeah?
So, like, when somebody goes swimming, everybody's gonna be wearing, like, one pieces?
Oh, no, onesies are like, those fuzzy,
Pajamas?
Yeah, pajamas. Or just fantasy gear, or really whatever you want. Of course But in this dance is also a movement toward our government being more like Kitimavik. Instead of our parliaments being places where they debate, it should be a place where they meet to talk. It's to pitch the idea of circles in our community so people can actually feel heard, hear each other. So that when you have a town hall meeting, you don't have one guy up there or a girl and talking to all these people and everyone's got all these different ideas. By the time you get there, they've already talked with each other and they know what they're trying to say. It's about facilitating that communication. And so the flash mob dance practices will teach that in simple ways. The first thing that we do is the name game.
The name game.
Yeah.
Do a crime. Name someone else's name.
Yeah. But all that's we'll have a whole kind of talk about May the 4th and Katimavik and where we can move government and how we move ourselves towards support instead of competition. Competition has just made us hate each other, made us jealous of each other. When someone who does something well is a person you can learn from, and then when you learn that, you have that knowledge too. It's a movement toward a gift society, because you don't need to compete. Everyone's got their own special gifts, and it's when we work together that we create and develop new things. But it's a big idea, and this is beautiful what May the 4th is, this simple dance, simple practices to help coach us into that way, to remember how to talk that way again. So we'll talk about how that is, but the big day is May the 4th. If you notice, there's 4 days, and they're also kind of based on the medicine wheel as well. And this is kind of physical world, where we take all that we learn into physical being. And really, we're just going to dance and be silly together on one day. It's also on May the 4th, you know, I've been part of Occupy and part of I Don't Know More. And media, you know, I talk about, like, what's your demands, what's your demands? Hey, it's a kids' revolution. They don't have many big demands because they know they're going to do what you're going to do. But they do have one kind of real big suggestion. Is that on this day, hey, those kids who have to carry that huge weight of guns, that huge weight, that ability to kill someone, to take someone's life in an instant, hey, on that day they get to put them down and dance. Simple as that. So that is a really brief intro to this journey. Thanks for, there we go.